This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Helping you find emotional, spiritual, and physical balance. What does your future hold? It's time to find out with Psychic Suzanna.
Yes, you are exactly where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Now, you can always find us at PsychicSusanna.com. That'll list where I'm appearing. That also gives you one free question. Also a list of the shows. You can go there. But you can also go to KFAB.com. And on there's all of the shows. The new August affirmation is going up tomorrow, so you can look at that. This is the station, the show you want to be listening to for knowledge beyond what you may find anywhere else. Being a wonderful station that we cover so much on this station, but we're going to cover what's not normal. We're talking about metaphysics, and as we do that, we look for easy ways to be happier and healthier every single day. I have to tell you how I came about this book. By the way, you can join me at Suzanna Stickney on Facebook or Life with Psychic Suzanna, where you get the inside track of who's coming on. But one of our listeners, her name's Sarah. Actually, she runs a coffee shop. And Sarah told me about how happy she was once she read the book, The Happy Mind. The Happy Mind is 7 principles to clear your head and lift your heart. The one quote I got from it that I really, really loved is, let love will become manifest in our awareness. Isn't that an interesting quote? Let's welcome Dr. Yoder to the studios. Hello, Doctor.
Hi, Susanna.
What a blessing it is to have you on air. I don't know that if we have to make a change to go to the president. We do. In a little bit. So
okay.
We're going to have to go to the president in a few minutes, but we're going to hold you on longer, okay?
Sure.
The first thing, I got to tell you, one of the cutest things about your thing is you say happiness is available in every moment. Is that really true?
Well, I think it is. I think happiness is an inner state of mind. It's actually our natural state of mind. So a happy mind is a mind that's not interfering with itself, and that really doesn't depend on outer circumstances.
Wait a minute. Say that one more time. A happy mind is a mind that isn't interfering with itself? What does that mean?
Well, I think happiness is your natural state of mind, and happiness in the sense of not just a fun ha-ha kind of feeling, but happiness is a deep inner peace, serenity, a sense of well-being, and I think that's really our natural state of mind, and that every time that we are unhappy, it ultimately comes down to that somehow we are blocking that natural happiness from expressing itself. So
how can everyone be happy, or does my happiness make somebody else's happiness not real?
No, but I think your own happiness can help others to become happier. I don't think you can never actually keep somebody else from being happy, because I think happiness is an inside job. Just like I can't reach inside of you and block your own expression of your natural happiness. I can't do that. You're the only one that can. But if I'm truly being happy and peaceful and loving, that can give you an example to help you find that in yourself.
And do you really believe it's okay? Because Sarah does. I'll be honest with you. She convinced me of your book. But do you really believe you can be happy with everything, all the drama we have in the workplace, all the drama we have in our families? How do I find happiness in the middle of all the drama?
Oh, that's a great question, and that's the key question if I'm saying happiness is an inside job.
Yeah.
I'm not really talking about, sometimes things happen that may not be right. Sometimes things happen that we have to act in some way to change.
Mm-hmm.
But how we feel about what happens is just dependent on how we interpret it. I mean, I found in my own life that I never have to be unhappy, that every time I'm unhappy, I mean, I may be blaming it on my
Someone
home
else.
situation or
Mm-hmm.
the world or something, but every time I'm unhappy, when I really look deep into it, I find out it's a matter of me somewhere deep inside blocking my own inner happiness. And as long as I'm blocking it and I'm in an unhappy and unpeaceful state of mind, I don't really have anything of value to give the world. I mean, an angry, hateful, upset person can't really help the world find peace and healing.
But what if my coworker is that kind of person? How do I keep that well of happiness within me? Do I block her emotionally? Do I say something? Tell me what I do.
Well, I think it's never what's outside of our minds that make us happy or unhappy. It ultimately comes down to how we think about it or how we interpret it and what it means to us. Because our minds, I mean, if you look at your coworker, your eyes let you see the shape of your coworker and the colors that she's wearing, and your ears kind of hear her words. But what she means to you, that your mind has added to it. So your mind always adds all the meaning that you find in your experience.
Explain that to me, would you?
Yeah, if I think a situation if I think what somebody's doing is really just a bad and awful thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm interpreting it that way, then I might feel angry or upset in response, because what I feel always depends on what something means to me. But if, on the other hand, I saw this person as somehow hurt or misguided in some way and just really trying to reach out and find some peace in their own lives and just kind of doing it in in a way that didn't work, then I might feel compassion rather than anger.
So if they didn't know that they were being, could people really not know that they're causing everybody trouble, or is that just my imagination there?
Well, I've often found, I mean, and I'm sure everybody's found this, that somebody is really bugging me in some way, and I think, well, I'm going to go and just point out to them what they're doing, and as soon as...
This is 1110 KFAB. We're going to break in right now. We will go to President Obama speaking.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's your
was
turn.
waiting for the president to talk some more.
Yeah, I guess we have, it sounds like both parties have reached a debt deal.
I'll say it when I believe it.
Okay.
I want a deficit spend. My husband won't let me. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Please always stay tuned. Even with the president, we'll come back to you. We're talking to Dr. William... I got the name wrong. We're talking to... No, I didn't. Dr. William Yoder, who wrote the book, The Happy Mind. Thank you for staying with us as we had a little interruption by the president. Dr. Yoder?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Dr. Yoder, where did we leave off, and where shall we begin? Give me a couple ideas here.
Okay, well, you had asked the question, do I think, that some people, do people, don't they really know when they're being irritating or hurting our feelings or so forth? Are they doing that intentionally and on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And, a couple things. One, I don't believe that anybody can actually irritate me or hurt my feelings. It always comes down to me doing it inside, because they can't reach inside me and make me feel a certain way. But I've also found that often when I confront somebody and say, well, you were doing this and this and this, that they have an entirely different interpretation, that what they were doing was not insensitive or offensive or whatever in any way. They were doing it for their reasons and the way they saw the world. So I think very often, I don't think people are, all that often going out to actually cause you trouble. I think of it sometimes like when you see a lifeguard going out for a drowning person, and they're going out to help them. But the drowning person, because they're frightened, are just waving your arms around and, hitting anything that comes close. And it's not they're attacking the lifeguard. It's just they don't know what they're doing anymore. And I think sometimes when people seem to be flailing around and hitting us, it's not because they're out to attack us. That somehow they've got in their minds that this is the way for them to find happiness.
And we're basically talking about the authentic happiness, which comes from the inside.
Yes, yes.
And it comes from accepting what is, correct?
Well, it comes from, ultimately, I think it comes from allowing that inner happiness within you to express itself in your awareness. And that there is a level of acceptance of what is, because if you're fighting what is, at that you're not allowing that inner happiness. So you have to kind of let go of that and allow it. And that doesn't mean you're passive. I don't mean you just let anything happen. You still try to promote peace and bring joy and healing to others and all the things you would do. But I think it really has to start from that inner peace and joy inside yourself. And what's inside yourself, what you called your authentic happiness, and I like that term. I think what starts inside yourself is really the foundation for really being able to help anybody else or to make any meaningful change in the world.
We're going to step away, and we'll be right back with Dr. Yoder, the author of The Happy Mind. This is a book that came to me, highly recommended. I want you to listen to him. He'll be right back. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Stay tuned. We're right here. We're coming right back.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Yes, you're right back where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Find us at PsychicSusanna.com or KFAB.com. We're there. You can find everything that's happening. Join us on Facebook at Psychic Suzanna Media. Life with Psychic Suzanna. And Susanna's nickname. We are talking to Dr. William Yoder. He wrote a book that was highly recommended to me. And as I'm reading the book, I love how, Dr. Yoder, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Susanna. I'm happy to be here.
You know, I must tell you, I do a lot of books with every show, and I love how you put the book together, where you have the italics where I need to really focus on the words. I love how you wrap it up at the end of each page, at the end of each chapter. So bravo on how you put this book together.
Well, thank you.
The question I want to ask you, and I think we might have to hold you after the 8 o'clock hour for the big answer, and it is, when we are unhappy, how can we shift back to happiness, especially with all the drama around us? So I'm going to ask that after the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to find the solution on how to shift back to happiness. But right now, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would.
Yes, I started off studying philosophy and just had a passion for it, and finally got a degree and became a professor of philosophy, and did that for a few years, and then my wife and I decided we wanted to do something different, and we went back to college, we became chiropractors, and now we have a practice here. We've lived in upstate New York for the last 25 years or so, and we got three wonderful kids and 5 wonderful grandkids.
Wow. So how did you get to writing the book, The Happy Mind?
Well, in all my study of philosophy, it finally came clear to me that happiness was a key issue, because it's the goal and the motivation and the driving force of everything we do. We We do what we do because we think it will make us feel good, and I mean good in that deep inner sense. Even when we go out of our way to help somebody else, we do it because we believe it's going to help us feel good. And I started asking myself the question, well, what is the real source of this happiness that drives everything we do, that we're always searching for? And, what causes us to be unhappy? And then the question you mentioned, when we are unhappy, how do we get back?
And that's the question that we will answer.
Finally led to the book.
Okay, we'll answer the questions. When we are unhappy, how can we shift back to happiness? Right after the 8 o'clock hour with Dr. William Yoder, the author of The Happy Mind. Stay tuned. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Yes, you are right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Now, you can always find us at PsychicSusanna.com. You get a free question. You send your name and age, and your question is answered. You can also see my schedule, starting new locations this coming month, so check out my schedule at PsychicSusanna.com. KFAB.com will have all the shows we've ever done up online, all the shows with great information up online for you. Here's the interesting thing. Dr. Yoder, who is here with us today, the author of The Happy Mind, his lecture will be up online in a few days. Scott will get it up there. You go to KFAB, you talk to everybody else about what you're learning tonight on how to have a happy mind. As Dr. Yoder has said, it's an inside job. Is that correct, Dr. Yoder?
Well, that's definitely what I found in my own life, yes.
Okay, now, let's talk about it. I am going around my day, starting a great day with my positive thinking in the morning, my affirmations, having a great day, great breakfast with friends, had a wonderful time with, just a really great day.
Yes.
And then I have a coworker or a relative who will say something that will just really get me off center.
Right.
Now, what can I do when I get unhappy to shift me back to happiness? Because I don't want to ruin my whole day by cussing out this person.
Well, there's two different levels. One of them is just how do you deal with that particular person or that particular situation, and there's a lot of things you can do. You can change what you think about them, how you relate to them, or you can shift your attention. I mean, the book has a lot of practical sorts of things. It does have
practical. I've noticed that. I love how you've written this book, but all right, go on.
It has to be practical if it's going to do any good. But there's a much deeper level, and that is that the way of thinking that we generally just inherit from our culture, we don't even consider it. It's just the beliefs and ideas that we get from our culture. Those beliefs and ideas actually, at a subconscious level, all the time introduce elements of fear and conflict in the very fabric of our awareness. So our awareness is always just sort of ready to be knocked off kilter a little bit. And because the tone of your awareness will influence everything that you can experience in your awareness. So if there's a little bit of fear and conflict in your awareness, then that will always be an element of that in everybody you meet and everything you experience. So the bigger answer is how can we change our whole way of thinking so that our mind isn't sabotaging its own happiness behind our backs? Because the truth is the world will never be just the way, your ego or my ego wants it to be. And and it won't ever be the case that everybody acts just the way we want them to be. And we notice that especially with coworkers and friends and relatives, because those are the people we're sort of most closely involved with. But the question is, how can we remain happy? And the big answer is that ultimately we have to change those underlying core beliefs that are really the cause of every time we're unhappy. And that's what the book's about. That's what the 7 principles are some alternative core beliefs that can allow the mind to experience its natural happiness. I mean, happiness isn't a matter of thinking. You can be happy if you're not thinking at all. I mean, in prayer or meditation or gardening or out in nature, you can be happy without thinking. But every time you're unhappy, it involves thinking, and thinking a certain kind of thought, and a kind of thought that blocks that inner happiness. So if we can get at the very foundation and change that whole way of thinking that blocks inner happiness, that can allow us to begin to experience deep and lasting and consistent happiness in our lives.
And we'll find the clues and the ways to do that through the book, The Happy Mind?
Yeah, and also, you know, for those who are interested, my website, thehappymindbook.com, has lots of articles.
Awesome website. I went to your website. It had a thing for what I do every day. Awesome website. Thank you for giving us that information without having to go to a store. The Happy Mind book, where do we find it?
Amazon. You can order it from my website. Okay. Any local bookstore, Barnes & Noble. It's just available. So. All
right. And your website again is?
thehappymindbook.com. If you get it from there, it'll be autographed, too. So.
Cool beans. Thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me,
We'll look forward to talking to you later. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Right now, though, before we hang up the phone and before we take a break,
yes,
we're going directly to Eric. Do you know who Eric is?
No, I don't.
Eric is someone who called the numbers.
Yeah, I know who.
I know
who
numbers
Eric is.
Are 558-1110.
402 in front.
402-558-1110. And then 1-800-543-1110. And we're going to look into your future right now because our Eric called ahead of time.
He sure did.
We're going to look at Eric's future.
That's awesome.
Hello,
Okay.
Eric. Hello?
Hello?
Eric.
Hi there.
Eric, where are you from?
I'm from California. I'm living in Iowa now.
Welcome to civilization, honey. Welcome to civilization.
Good to be here.
First thing, how old is your daughter?
22.
Where does she live?
She lives in town here.
Uh-huh. Is she in love or something?
She's married, so I hope so.
I think she's going to be pregnant, dear. Does she want to be pregnant?
Not again.
How long ago did she have a baby?
10 weeks.
Okay, that's the baby. That's the baby. Relax. Okay. Take a deep breath. It's not going to cost you more money. Okay, she's a darn good mother, though. Darn good mother.
I know she is.
I mean, sweet Jesus, you did a good job on raising these children. I am going to tell you that financially this is going to be a good year within 4 months. Some kind of financial improvement on a steady basis. I like that. Also, there's going to be a phone call that you're going to get alarming about a male health issue who's much younger than you, and the health issue is going to be okay. So put God there. That's where he belongs, okay?
Okay.
I also want you to know a job offer that is fake within 4 months. So be aware of that. And a job change that is real before the end of the year.
Terrific.
Eric, how old are you?
36.
And you have a 22-year-old daughter?
She's my stepdaughter, yes.
You know what I love about that?
What's that?
You are her father. You are the one who she chose to be the father figure in her life. And you are dynamite.
Terrific.
I'm going to tell you more children than your own will call you dad. So there's going to be more children. But, honey, if you do anything, as a dad, you're a rock star.
Well, thank you. That's good to hear.
All right. Do you have a question today?
Well, I just feel like sometimes I'm kind of swimming upstream, basically, when it comes to, I'm out of work now. And
that was the job change, and out of work now is just a temporary thing. Right now you have the opportunity to find the perfect job. Okay? Sure. I am going to say before the end of the year you'll be in management, but you're not going to start in management. You'll love the job you're going to be in August and September. What did you do before?
Always been in sales.
Okay. Honey, you're very good. You're very good. and you're respected. August, you'll have the job in August and early September, and then you'll be in management, okay?
Terrific.
All right? I believe in your success, and you are a dynamite guy. Thank you for calling. Stay listening. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB, and we're taking a little break, waiting for your calls at 558-1110, 1-800-543-1110. Oh! Jim, we've got company in the studio.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
I got to like this.
We've got a beautiful
Stay
woman.
tuned.
You got to love it when I bring in beautiful women in the studio.
I do.
All right. We'll be right back. And we're going to be talking to Mary Kelly and Randall T. Stevens. Who are they and what's it about? We're going to let you know in a few minutes. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna, 1110 KFAB.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Yes, you're right where you need to be. This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on KFAB. Yes, you can find us at psychicsusanna.com, our KFAB.com. We're here. We're going to be here all the time, bringing you knowledge of what's going on in town, what's going on in the world, how to be happy. We had some conclusions on how to be happy. Check out the book. We listened to the interview. He was at KFAB.com, and so it's pretty interesting. Next week, we're going to have the Nourishing Your Life, Nourishing Your Food concept. It's a huge book. I had a reader read it for me, and it's all about how the foods we eat, how to eat more natural.